You wake up one day and realize something feels off. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet emptiness that follows you everywhere, in your thoughts, in your body, in your chest where your fire used to live. And that is the most dangerous place a man can be, not in chaos, but in silent decay. Because when you are loudly failing, you can still react. But when you are quietly drifting, you slowly lose yourself without even noticing. And Stoicism begins exactly here. Not with motivation, not with hype, but with a brutal confrontation, the realization that your life right now is a reflection of your discipline, your habits, your mindset, and nothing else. No excuses, no blaming people, no blaming circumstances, because the Stoics did not believe in comfort. They believed in truth, and truth does not care about your feelings. It only reveals your reality. And if your mind is weak, your life will feel heavy. If your body is neglected, your energy will collapse. And if your heart is undisciplined, your emotions will control you like a puppet. So this is not a soft journey, this is a rebuilding process. A complete destruction of the version of you that seeks comfort over growth, validation over self-respect, and distraction over purpose. Because Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that you have power over your mind, not outside events. And once you understand that deeply, everything changes. You stop reacting. You start commanding. You stop chasing. You start becoming. And in this video, you will face 3 brutal Stoic rules, not to inspire you, but to rebuild you from the inside out, mind, body, and heart. And if you truly apply them, not just listen, not just nod your head, but live them, then the person you become will not recognize the weakness you once accepted. Because Stoicism is not about feeling better, it is about becoming stronger. And strength is built in discomfort, in discipline, and in truth. Rule 1, your mind is not your friend by default. It is a battlefield, and most people are losing that battle every single day without even realizing it, because they think every thought they have is true. They think every emotion deserves attention. They think every urge must be followed. And that is exactly how you lose control over your life. Because an undisciplined mind does not guide you, it drags you. It pulls you toward comfort, toward laziness, toward doubt, toward fear. And the Stoics understood something most people still ignore today, that your thoughts are not facts. They are suggestions. And if you do not learn to filter them, question them, and control them, they will quietly shape your reality into something weak and chaotic. Think about how many times you have told yourself you are tired when your body still had energy. How many times you avoided something difficult because your mind convinced you it was not worth it. How many opportunities you missed because you listened to fear instead of reason. And this is where discipline begins, not in your actions, but in your thinking, because every action is first approved by your mind. So if your mind is weak, your actions will follow. And rebuilding your mind requires one brutal shift. You must stop identifying with every thought you have. You must step back and observe, question, and reject what does not serve you. Because not every thought deserves your loyalty. And the moment you realize that you gain power, real power, the ability to pause, to choose, to act intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. And this is what separates strong individuals from weak ones, not circumstances, but control. The control to say no to distractions, the control to ignore negativity, the control to focus when everything around you is pulling you away. And this is not easy, because your mind will resist. It will look for comfort. It will try to pull you back into old patterns. But that resistance is the sign you are doing it right, because growth always feels uncomfortable at first. And the Stoics trained their minds daily, through reflection, through awareness, through constant self-correction. They did not allow their minds to wander aimlessly. They directed them, shaped them, disciplined them, And you must do the same. You must become the gatekeeper of your thoughts, allowing only what strengthens you and rejecting what weakens you. Because if you do not control your mind will control you, and it will not take you somewhere powerful. It will take you somewhere easy, and easy is where potential goes to die. Rule 2, your body is not just a physical shell. It is the foundation of your energy, your confidence, your discipline. And yet most people treat it like an afterthought. They neglect it, abuse it, ignore it, and then wonder why they feel weak. Tired, unmotivated, because a weak body creates a weak mind, and a weak mind creates a weak life. This is not philosophy. This is reality, and the Stoics understood the importance of physical resilience, not for appearance, not for validation, but for strength. Because when you train your body, you are not just building muscles, you are building discipline, you are building endurance. You are teaching yourself to push through discomfort, to show up when you do not feel like it, to continue when your mind is telling you to quit. And that is where real transformation happens, not in motivation, but in consistency, in showing up again and again, even when it is hard, even when you are tired, even when you are not in the mood. Because the truth is, your body listens to your actions, not your excuses. And every time you choose comfort over effort, you are reinforcing weakness. You are telling yourself that it is okay to quit, that it is okay to stay average, and over time that becomes your identity. But when you train your body with intention, when you push your limits, when you embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it, something shifts inside you. Your confidence grows, your energy increases, your discipline strengthens, and suddenly you are not the same person anymore. You are someone who can handle pressure, someone who can endure pain, someone who can keep going when others stop. And that is powerful because life will test you, not just mentally, but physically, through stress, through exhaustion, through challenges that demand more from you than you think you can give. And if your body is not prepared, you will break. But if you have trained it, if you have built that resilience, you will stand firm, you will push through, you will adapt. And this is why training your body is not optional. It is essential. It is a non-negotiable part of rebuilding yourself because strength is not given. It is earned through effort, through discipline, through consistency. And the more you train your body, the more you realize something important, that your limits are not where you thought they were. They were just where you stopped pushing, and once you move past that, everything changes. Rule 3, your emotions are powerful, but they are also dangerous if left uncontrolled, because they can either guide you or destroy you, and most people live their lives controlled by how they feel in the moment. If they feel good, they act. If they feel bad, they stop. If they feel hurt, they react. If they feel angry, they explode. And this emotional instability is one of the biggest sources of suffering in modern life, because it makes you unpredictable, reactive, and dependent on external circumstances. And the Stoics saw this clearly. They understood that you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And that response is everything, because it determines your character, your actions, and ultimately your life. Think about how many problems in your life were not caused by the situation itself, but by your reaction to it, the words you said in anger, the decisions you made in frustration, the opportunities you lost because you let fear take control. And this is why mastering your heart is crucial. Because without emotional discipline, you are not in control of yourself. And if you are not in control of yourself, you are not truly free. And mastering your emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means understanding them, observing them, and choosing how to act despite them. It means feeling anger but not letting it control your actions. Feeling fear but still moving forward, feeling sadness but not letting it define your identity. And this requires awareness, it requires patience, it requires practice, because your emotions will not disappear overnight, they will test you. They will challenge you, they will try to pull you back into old patterns. But every time you choose control over reaction, you become stronger. Every time you pause instead of reacting impulsively, you gain power. And over time, this builds emotional resilience. The ability to stay calm under pressure, to think clearly in difficult situations, to remain steady when everything around you is chaotic. And that is rare, that is powerful, because most people are controlled by their emotions. But you, if you train yourself, can rise above them, can use them as signals instead of commands. And that changes everything, because now you are not reacting to life. You are responding to it with intention, with clarity, with strength. And now you understand the truth most people spend their entire lives avoiding. That rebuilding yourself is not about waiting for the right moment. It is not about feeling ready, and it is definitely not about motivation. Because motivation fades, emotions shift, and life will never align perfectly for you. The real transformation begins the moment you decide that no matter how you feel, no matter how hard it gets, you will not go back to the version of yourself that accepted weakness, that tolerated excuses, that chose comfort over growth. Because the man you are becoming demands more. He demands discipline in your mind, strength in your body, and control over your heart. And this is where most people fail, not because they do not know what to do, but because they do not stay consistent. They start strong, they feel inspired, but then life tests them, and they fall back into old habits, into old thinking, into old behaviors, and slowly they become the same person again. But you cannot afford that anymore, not after everything you now understand. Not after realizing how much potential you have been leaving behind. This is your moment to separate yourself from the average, to prove to yourself that you are not controlled by your impulses, not defined by your past, not limited by your comfort, but shaped by your discipline, your choices, your actions. Every single day, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. Because that is where your new identity is built, in the moments when no one is watching, when there is no reward, when there is only you and your decision to either rise or fall. And if you choose to rise, if you choose to live by these brutal Stoic rules, your life will change in ways you cannot even imagine right now. Your confidence will grow, your clarity will sharpen, your presence will become powerful, and people will notice. Not because you are trying to impress them, but because you have mastered yourself. And that is rare, that is respected, that is unstoppable. So do not just listen to this, do not just agree with it, live it, apply it, become it. And watch how everything around you begins to shift. Because the moment you take control of your mind, your body, and your heart, you take control of your life, and there is no greater power than that. And if this message hit something inside you, if you felt that shift, then do not let it fade. Write in the comments, "I choose discipline," as a commitment to yourself, not to me. And make sure you subscribe to Stoic Spark and press the bell icon, so you never miss the lessons that will keep sharpening your mind and strengthening your life. Because this is not just content, this is a path, and now you are walking it.